Kansas City's news leader. This is breaking news from KMBC 9.
That breaking news, we're looking into some possible wrongdoing with the Kansas City, Missouri government. Thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Jamie Weiss. A statement from City Manager Mario Vasquez's office states there's an internal investigation into possible inappropriate conduct among the administrative staff. The statement also says the city is committed to accountability, ethical conduct, and maintaining the public's trust. It also says that conclusions shouldn't be drawn before all the facts are fully reviewed. The city manager is not commenting about any possible ongoing external investigations. Also breaking at noon, a Leavenworth, Kansas woman has been found guilty of charges related to the death of her 25-year-old daughter back in 2022, a 25-day-old daughter, I should say. 43-year-old Megan Forbes was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter and aggravated endangering a child. Some of these details, we want to warn you, may be hard to hear. Evidence showed Forbes hosted a party at her home the night before the child died, where she reportedly consumed multiple alcoholic beverages. The baby's father, who was also drinking at the party, fell asleep in a bed. Forbes later joined him in that bed and fell asleep while breastfeeding her daughter. When she woke up the next morning, she saw blood on the baby's face and called 911. An autopsy revealed the baby's cause of death was asphyxiation in an unsafe sleeping environment. Forbes' sentencing is scheduled for March 27th. It is 12:01, and in Kansas, a new law requiring you to use the restrooms in government buildings based upon your sex at birth is now in effect. KMBC 9's Martin Augustine explains how another element of the law extends beyond the bathroom.
Governor Laura Kelly vetoed that bill because, by her reading of it, the requirement on whether to use a women's room or a men's room based upon your sex at birth was just full of too many legal problems. Now, the new law applies to multi-person restrooms in such buildings as the state capitol, but also a city hall or a public school. Backers of the law had enough votes in the State House to override the veto, arguing the law protects women and girls. The governor says another interpretation here could, for example, prevent a brother from visiting a sister in a university dorm. Transgender Kansans feel as though the law specifically targets them, and it's not just for the restroom element. And this brings us to the other part of the law that now requires Kansans to indicate on their driver's licenses their sex at birth. If it's not, the state's already scoured its records and has sent letters to those who have a discrepancy, including transgender Kansans who made that change on their driver's licenses, saying their driver's licenses are now invalid and they'll have to pay to get a new one. The law does not allow for a grace period to get this done. Martin Augustine, KMBC 9 News.
Well, today we could see a vote on a piece of legislation aimed at star bonds. A measure that's being considered in the Kansas Senate would require star bond projects to draw at least 30% of visitors from 100 miles away and 20% of visitors from outside the state of Kansas. There would be different requirements for rural developments. This would also bar cities from using eminent domain to acquire properties for those star bonds projects and ban the use of state general fund dollars to repay any star bonds debt. 4 major projects in the metro use star bonds. This includes the new American Royal facility. That project hit some snags, but recently got some new life to move forward. You also have the proposed Mattel theme park out in Bonner Springs. Then, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs move to Kansas. Star bonds projects will help build a new team headquarters and practice facility out in Olathe and that brand new Dome Stadium in Kansas City, Kansas. Today in Kansas City, Kansas, the unified government of Wyandotte County will vote on a 2-year ban on new detention centers and correctional institutions. It's recommended for approval. That meeting is tonight at 5:30. The mayor of Leavenworth is speaking up after the city council advanced a special use permit to allow CoreCivic to reopen as a former jail as an ICE detention center. So Mayor Nancy Bowder says the city needs to meet with attorneys and make sure CoreCivic is fulfilling its promises. This comes after an hours-long city commission meeting that was filled with people pushing back against the plan. Bowder says she never wanted to see that prison come back to town, but she can live with it with constraints.
We've had all these problems before and we were not allowed to come into the building. That needs to change. We have to defend our own laws. We have home rule. In Kansas, we have home rule. We have to defend our own laws here.
The city plans to add a community relations board to monitor the facility. The city plans to vote on that detention facility during its March 10th meeting. Tomorrow, a decision is expected from Kansas Court of Appeals judge in a lawsuit between CoreCivic and Leavenworth. If the Kansas Appeals Court sides with the private prison, CoreCivic could open without that city permit and a vote would not be needed. You can count on us for all of your coverage of the ICE Detention Center talks happening across the metro. We'll bring you updates from Leavenworth, KCK, and more on air and online at KMBC.com. It is 12:05 as we check in with First Alert meteorologist Nick Bender. A gorgeous sunny day, and I never thought I'd say the day, Nick, where you need to enjoy February.
I mean, it's just been it's been a February. It's been one for the record books, Jamie. It's going to go down as one of the warmest Februaries on record here in Kansas City. 56 degrees with a clear blue sky and a light northwest breeze. Only 5 miles per hour. Temperatures in the 50s, 60s in Sedalia, Warsaw, Butler, 50s in Atchison, St. Joe, and Maryville. The temperatures that are solid 10 to even 15 degrees above normal right now, and will continue to warm through the rest of the afternoon into the low and mid 60s and remain fairly comfortable overnight with plenty of starlight and a light breeze. It'll be even warmer tomorrow. Widespread 70s with a strong south wind gusting up to 30 miles per hour. So that's a change, and that will result in a higher fire danger. No burning on Friday. Colder changes on Saturday as a cold front sweeps through. Still sunny. No chance of rain or snow or ice or anything like that on Saturday, but it will get colder, and that will set the stage for our impact day on Sunday. A variety of precipitation types expected, from rain to freezing rain, sleet, and snow. And the wintry precipitation, I'm leaning more toward late Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. And there's the potential that that could cause some winter weather driving conditions, even if it's just a little bit of ice and snow. The pattern will remain active through next week, more focused on rain and thunderstorm chances. Jamie.
Okay, appreciate the heads up. Thank you, Nick. Well, spring is here, and that means soccer season. The Kansas City Current is gearing up for their season. That'll start in just a couple of weeks. KMBC 9's Taylor Kaufman caught up with them at their practice this morning. And Taylor, good morning. Good afternoon, rather. How does the team look?
Good morning, Jamie. My gosh, a beautiful day out here. The KC Current back in Kansas City after spending the preseason in California. Have some of that California weather here this morning at the training facility in Riverside. Now, the Kansas City Current had a heck of a 2025 season, the best regular season in NWSL, and they also earned the 1 seed in the playoffs. They were a little disappointed with that early exit, but you better believe they are ready to get back to work, and that starts now. They did a lot of rebuilding in the roster in the offseason, including bringing in a new head coach in Chris Armas, and he and the team, they're all excited to get the 2026 season started.
Yeah, obviously the coaching is different, and then some players that have left and the new players that have come. But I mean, I think the culture is still the same. Our work on the field is still the same off the field. And I think the players who have been here and the veterans on the team really help the younger players and us, and new players as well, just like get right into the team and right into the flow right away.
That's one thing we know about the Kansas City Current. They know how to win, and we better trust and believe that they are bringing in the right pieces to get that done, because that is always the expectation with this team. Jamie?
Yeah, Taylor, that's so true. And we know that this has been such an exciting time for the Current. There's been a lot of off-season moves, rebuilding the roster. We also know that they've been building some of their new practice facilities. What else has the team been focused on during the off-season?
Yeah, okay, so check this out. The new Performance Center, that is new. I believe they just debuted that to the media, to the public on Tuesday. So they're in there, just, you can't really tell right now with the reflection in the mirrors, but it's really nice in there. And then also they're doing some work here on the fields. All of this is going to get ready because, as we know, the Netherlands, they're going to be setting up home camp here for the World Cup, but they're not doing all of this for them. You better believe this is for the Kansas City Current, because Chris and Angie Long, they are so invested in this team, and it shows just from the success that they have on the field.
Yeah,
Jamie?
You bring up such a good point, Taylor. Thank you. And a reminder that the KC Current opened up their season at home March 14th against the Utah Royals. I know we can count on Taylor for all that coverage. A legendary Kansas City barbecue pitmaster has passed away. The message from the restaurant Wayne Garrett worked for nearly 3 decades. Plus, some first responders were surprised this morning with puppies. The hope for these special pooches after their play date with firefighters in Leawood.
Your source for First Alert Weather and News Chopper 9, Kansas City's news leader, KMBC 9 News.
Check out this video from Liberty Police. Officers say a car broke down at a stoplight. The driver of another car didn't notice and crashed into it. The impact was so great that one of the vehicles ended up underneath the car it hit. Police say this is what happens when drivers are not paying attention. A 26-year-old cold case is finally solved. Kansas City native Candace Ritchie was killed in her Columbia apartment in February of 2000. Tuesday, Columbia police announced that they have arrested 45-year-old Centrell Wilson in South Carolina. That's where he had been living. The Columbia Police Department's assistant chief says Wilson and Ritchie were in a relationship at the time of her death. Police say Wilson was a suspect the entire time.
I was talking with the detectives who were involved in this case, and one of the things that we were discussing is there's no huge break in this case. A lot of the facts that were back in 2000 are the same facts now. We're able to clean up some of the language to make it presentable for court.
Wilson is being held outside of Greenville, South Carolina, waiting to be brought back to Missouri. Well, a longtime pitmaster for Arthur Bryant's has passed away. Wayne Garrett worked the pits for 28 years, and the restaurant shared the news on social media yesterday. They went on to say, quote, Wayne arrived before dawn, preparing the barbecue that welcomed generations of guests, from the NFL draft and Chiefs playoff weekends to tourists discovering Kansas City for the first time. His hands were behind it all. We are forever grateful for his loyalty, his work ethic, his friendship, and the legacy he leaves behind.
We use a gang of brown sugar here, and that flavor, what put that flavor in there is that smoke. Trying to get me to tell you the recipe, ain't it?
That was a part of our conversation with Wayne last year in our Chronicle Up in Smoke. He was so passionate about his job in KCQ. It was so great getting to meet him and speak with him last year. You can hear more from our conversation with Wayne in Chronicle Up in Smoke, airing on Very Local right now. Well, starting tomorrow, a consignment sale opens up to the public in Lee's Summit. It is the Just Between Friends Lee's Summit sale. It runs Friday through Sunday at the Pavilion at John Knox Village. You could score deals on items for babies, toddlers, and children on things like toys, books, clothing, and more. You can buy tickets through the Just Between Friends Lee's Summit website. Being a first responder is stressful, but one local nonprofit brought a bit of relaxation and love to a few firefighters in Leawood this morning. KMBC 9's Brittany Foster was there and tells us more about a small special delivery.
Firefighters in Leawood are smiling a little bit more today thanks to one special delivery.
The nonprofit Positive Tales brought a bunch of puppies to Leawood Fire Station 1 earlier today.
How many station dogs do we need?
All of them. They created first responder puppygrams just last year, with the goal to thank our first responders, show support, and boost morale.
It just is great. We appreciate everything that they do for our community, and just to have a little break to put a smile on their face and get some puppy love is well worth it. They deserve it.
On top of bringing joy to our first responders, the nonprofit brings puppygrams to nursing homes and corporations year-round. The puppies bring smiles to the community while also gaining socialization skills and access to potential adopters. All the puppies involved in the puppygram today are fixed and ready to be adopted. If you would like to adopt one of the puppies or check out the shelter's grown dogs that are also looking for their forever home, go to positivetaleskc.org. At Leawood Fire Station 1, Brittany Foster, KMBC 9 News.
Oh my goodness, so sweet. Okay, let's talk some football, shall we? Because NFL Combine workouts officially start today. Place kickers, linebackers, and defensive linemen are taking the field this afternoon. Players were in Indianapolis on Monday talking with reporters and handling the off-the-field work. The drills like the 40-yard dash, the vertical jump, and more will start at 2 this afternoon. And keep in mind, the Chiefs are looking for some help on the defensive side of the ball, and they are predicted by some to take a defensive lineman or pass rusher pretty early on in the draft. So some players today could impress the Chiefs leadership. Here's a look at the rest of the Combine schedule. Tomorrow, tight ends and defensive backs will take the field. Saturday, we'll see quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. Then on Sunday, O-linemen will wrap things up. Several local guys are at the Combine this year, including KU quarterback Jalen Daniels and wide receiver Emmanuel Henderson Jr. From K-State, we'll see offensive lineman and former Mill Valley standout Sam Hecht and defensive back VJ Payne. From Missouri, wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr., defensive lineman Chris McClellan, and Zion Young will be there. Defensive back Toriano Pride Jr., offensive lineman Keegan Trost, and linebacker Josiah Trotter will all be representing. There's also some former high school stars from the area competing at the Combine. That includes Wyoming's John Gillenberg and Texas A&M's Cassius Howell. They're both from Rockhurst High. Iowa's Bo Stevens is from Blue Springs. Iowa State's Dominique Orange comes from North Kansas City, while Arizona State's Keyshawn Elliott is from Richmond. Of course, Oregon wideout Malik Benson is from Lansing, too. Let's talk baseball. The Kansas City Royals had a rare outing on the diamond Wednesday. They tied the Seattle Mariners, but they had some strong performances.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's swung on and hit to the gap in right center field. Refsnyder and Robles will not get there.
Vinny Pasquantino scored Bobby Baseball for a 1-0 lead. The Royals had 10 hits and scored 8 runs in the game. Royals starting pitcher Noah Cameron had a solid showing, only allowing 1 hit and no runs in 2 innings. The St. Joe native is looking forward to another season on the mound, and he's pretty happy with his first outing.
Good feeling for sure. I feel like every off season you just kind of wait for that first one. You know, you can throw as many live bullpens, all that stuff in the backfields, but nothing feels real until you get out there. So good to be out there and ready to keep going.
The Royals are back at it today, taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks in Scottsdale, Arizona. First pitch is at 2:10 this afternoon. The Royals' regular season begins a month from tomorrow. The boys in blue will be on the road, opening up the season in Atlanta against the Braves. Their home opener is on a Monday. It's Monday, March 30th against the Twins. So if you're making long weekend plans, you can include them. Speaking of this weekend, Nick, plans I feel like are going to be all over the place.
They are. You got to plan for it getting colder on Saturday and then plan for an assortment of precipitation from rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow Sunday, Sunday night, ending early Monday morning. But today and tomorrow, it's going to feel like April in May, especially tomorrow. Temperatures will soar into the 70s, challenging record high temperatures for the day, and it will also increase the fire danger because of the warm, dry, and windy conditions. Winds will gust occasionally up to 30 miles per hour on Friday. It starts to get colder on Saturday, first north of Kansas City and then south of the metro by the end of the day. So there's going to be a big spread in temperatures from north to south on Saturday as that cold air pours in. I mean, 40s, 50s, 60s, near 70s. All of that would be accurate for Saturday, depending on where you are, north or south of Kansas City. Colder north, warmer south. That will set the stage for Sunday's impact day. Moisture will begin to surge northward. I think late Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon is when I'm hopeful that it's rain to begin. There so much depends on just a few degrees of temperature, not only at the surface, but also thousands of feet aloft. But it looks more like early afternoon through the day when things will start to get going. And it'll be rain, but it'll also be mixed with freezing rain. That's ice. Nobody likes ice. Sleet and snow, or very few people like ice. I don't want to speak for everybody. I don't like ice. 12-hour forecast for today in Kansas City. Yeah, get outside and enjoy it. Light wind, lots of sunshine, 60s and 70s for tomorrow. 61 degrees on Saturday, but that could be a lot colder, especially north of the metro. That's the day the cold air pours in, and it is cold all day long on Sunday with temperatures close to freezing. And I mentioned, maybe 1 to 3 degrees difference, colder or warmer is going to be the deciding factor between rain, freezing rain, sleet, which is ice pellets, and snow. I don't think this is going to be an all rain or an all snow event. There's going to be some ice in there as well, with temperatures near freezing. The most likely time for wintry precipitation, that's freezing rain, sleet, and snow, it could be as early as late Sunday morning. I'm leaning more towards Sunday afternoon into the evening as temperatures drop below freezing into Sunday night. Next week will remain pretty active here. A lot of rain and thunderstorm chances, no ice or snow chances by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. At this time, the severe risk is low. We get into March, that's the beginning of storm season. So risk of severe weather next week is low. Let's focus on the wintry side of this. Sunday morning through Monday morning, the chance of at least 1/100 of an inch of ice. So that's a glaze of ice, about 30 to 40% here in Kansas City. I would still call that low, but that's high enough that it's a little bit concerned. And the greatest chance of at least an inch of snow remains northeast of the metro across northern and northeastern Missouri. This would be for especially Sunday afternoon through Sunday night.
Improving air quality inside can make a real difference with allergies. KMBC 9's Donna Pittman shares the simple ways to reduce indoor pollen.
Air pollution isn't just an outside problem. According to Consumer Reports, the air inside our homes might not be as clean as we think.
So there are all kinds of contaminants that originate from inside, like those from cooking, from pet dander, even cleaning products that you use. So all of that adds up. Is especially problematic for people with respiratory issues like asthma, and even pets can suffer.
CR says it starts with a few easy and free habits. On milder days, open the windows and allow airflow. Avoid indoor smoke sources, including candles, incense, and wood fires. Run your exhaust fans in the kitchen to remove cooking fumes and in bathrooms to remove steam, which can help reduce mold and mildew buildup. If you have a forced air heating system, be sure to change the air filters every year or more frequently, according to the manufacturer instructions. Vacuum and dust often, especially if you have pets. For additional help, consider an air purifier.
Air purifiers alone won't remove all impurities, but if you've gone through the effort to keep allergens and other pollutants out of your homes, an air purifier can help reduce them further. And this can be particularly beneficial for people with asthma and other chronic illnesses.
This blue air purifier scored among the best for clearing the air on its highest setting. This Honeywell also performs well for smaller rooms. If allergies are a concern, take a look at your floors. Carpet can hold on to dust and pollen, while hard surfaces and washable rugs are easier to clean. Donna Pittman, KMBC 9 News.
At 12:27, we're taking a live look over the Country Club Plaza. A gorgeous day out ahead of us. Nick and I are going to be back with more news and weather in just 3 minutes.
committed to serving our neighbors in Kansas and Missouri. Kansas City's news leader, KMBC 9 News.
Well, thanks for sticking with us at noon. I'm Jamie Weiss. Kansas City, Kansas, one of the metro's most diverse communities, is considering a plan to temporarily block new detention facilities. Unified Government Commissioners will discuss a potential 2-year ban at their meeting tonight. There are no reports of an ICE detention center coming to Wyandotte County, but supporters of this ban say it would ease concerns. Tonight's meeting starts at 5:30 at UG headquarters. As for other detention plans in the metro, we know public pressure helped prevent an ICE detention center from opening in South Kansas City. The company Platform Ventures announced it would not be selling a warehouse to the federal government to be used as that detention center. That's also after Kansas City, Missouri passed a 5-year moratorium on detention centers, and Jackson County is considering doing the same thing. Meanwhile, the future of the Core Civic facility in Leavenworth is still unknown. The city is expected to vote on March 10th on a permit to grant its use as an ICE detention center. There's also some ongoing legal challenges there. A Kansas judge is expected to release a ruling tomorrow on whether or not that permit is needed. Court documents give us new details into a shooting at a Leawood senior living facility. Derek Miller is accused of shooting at a co-worker inside the healthcare resort of Leawood on 143rd Street. That was earlier this month. No one was hurt in that shooting, but the documents say security video shows Miller using a key card to get into the building, then walking toward the nurse's station and firing at the worker before running away. That worker fired back. Miller was later found at an apartment complex in Overland Park and taken into custody. He is charged with attempted first-degree murder. A man on the run is now charged in the deadly shooting of a teenage girl. There's a warrant out for Eric Phillips' arrest. He's charged with first-degree murder, armed criminal action, and abandonment of a corpse. Court documents say Phillips shot and killed 18-year-old Elijah Murray last November in Independence. Police say the suspect may be armed. If you know anything, give the Crime Stoppers Tips hotline a call at 816-474-TIPS. We do want to get now to your first alert forecast. Meteorologist Nick Bender, you see that gorgeous day out ahead, and it's a hard pill to swallow that that's about to change.
There's a lot of colder changes on the way for the weekend, Jamie, and rain, and freezing rain, and sleet, and maybe even snow. And that's on March 1st. Coming in like a lion, a cold, wet lion, as Katie said earlier in the week. But right now, wow, what a beautiful afternoon. 56 degrees. It feels like March, April in some spots, with temperatures warming into the 60s in Clinton, Warsaw, Butler, and Sedalia, even northern Missouri, reaching into the low and mid 50s. And we'll likely climb into the 60s in Kansas City in the next few hours with a light wind and a clear sky and a mild night with temperatures in the upper 30s and lower 40s. Tomorrow is going to be even warmer. It's going to feel like May, 70s, challenging daily record high temperatures Friday afternoon. But there is a fire danger with the strong south winds occasionally gusting to 30 miles per hour. No burning on Friday, even if your county or community is not under a burn ban. Colder air arrives on Saturday. Now it's going to be a little sooner across northern Missouri, and it won't really reach Kansas City and communities to the south until after sunset. So highs in the 40s, 50s, 60s, close to 70 on Saturday. The cold air sweeps all the way through on Sunday for our impact day. Rain, freezing rain, sleet, snow, that is all likely beginning as early as late Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon. I think the wintry precipitation, the most likely time for that is going to be late Sunday afternoon through Sunday night. And the pattern remains quite active next week. I'm not concerned about wintry precipitation, but lots of rain and thunderstorm chances, Jamie, especially in the middle of next week.
Okay, appreciate the heads up. Thank you, Nick. Well, football will soon be football in Kansas City, Missouri. Arrowhead Stadium will host world-class soccer athletes in 110 days as the Metro welcomes the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup to Kansas City. And a Kansas City company is joining KC 2026 as an official host city supporter for the World Cup. Hallmark is stepping up to help the World Cup, covering event costs through a sponsorship deal. The company will also plan to take part in activities like the Fan Festival, putting a familiar Kansas City brand on display for visitors from around the world. As hundreds of thousands of visitors are about to be in town, the city of Kansas City, Missouri wants to improve their emergency response times. The city for a long time has struggled with 911 wait times that have been long, and really just it's been a long stretch that we've been dealing with this. KCPD says wait times are down 60%, with callers now waiting about 20 seconds on average. The department has hired more call takers and dispatchers, but staffing still falls well below national recommendations. So keep in mind, response times have improved, but many taxpayers say that service is unreliable.
Several times, nobody come, or they don't pick the phone up, or it's always busy. Never. I might as well do it myself. I'm so serious.
Right now, 50 call takers handle about 1 million calls a year. The city estimates it would need to spend about $3 million to expand its call center to add more staff. Kansas City, Missouri has secured about $80 million in federal funding for safety and transportation for the World Cup. That includes about $60 million for police patrols and overtime, another $14 million for drone surveillance, and the last $6 million will be for things like license plate readers and transit security. You can count on KMBC 9 News for all of your World Cup coverage. We're going to be with you every step of the way as our region prepares to host the largest sporting event in the world. Check out all of our reporting online at KMBC.com/World Cup. Days after cartel violence broke out, tourists are carefully planning their next steps as spring break is just weeks away. What you need to know if you're heading south of the border.
Much colder conditions will arrive this weekend along with an assortment of precipitation types, including light snow, sleet, freezing rain. Coming up when you need to be ready and prepared for a return to winter.
Your source for first alert weather and News Chopper 9. Kansas City's news leader, KMBC 9 News.
FBI agents returned to Nancy Guthrie's house on Wednesday, more than 3 weeks after she was taken from her home. The FBI is reorganizing the investigation, reducing the number of personnel in Tucson. Many agents are now heading back to Phoenix to work the case from there. Investigators are also sorting through a surge in tips after the Guthrie family offered $1 million for any information leading to their mother. The FBI stressed that just because some agents are returning home, the case is not over and they are not giving up. The Cuban government now claims that people aboard a U.S. boat tried to infiltrate the country to commit a terrorist act. On Wednesday, 4 people were killed, 7 others were hurt after a gunfight off the coast of the island nation. This happened after a speedboat registered in Florida entered Cuban waters. Cuban officials say the passengers opened fire as a Cuban border guard vessel approached. Cuban troops returned fire. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says there are still many unknowns, but the U.S. is demanding answers.
We obviously want to have access to these people if they are American citizens or U.S. residents, but I'm not going to speculate now.
Rubio confirmed it was not a U.S. government operation. Cuba's government said the majority of the 10 people on that boat have a known history of criminal and violent activity. That includes 2 people wanted for terrorism in that country. With spring break just weeks away, many Americans planning trips to Mexico are on alert after the recent violence in some popular tourist destinations. ABC's Matt Rivers has the latest.
With spring break starting in just a few weeks, safety concerns are top of mind for American travelers after the killing of a cartel leader sparked mass unrest across Mexico. Security officials now ramping up their efforts to keep tourists safe, as we saw firsthand joining Mexican Marines on patrol in Cancun.
So the government has stepped up heavily armed patrols just like this one as a show of force after what happened earlier this week. They say things are safe here, but they also know the threat from organized crime is real, hence the heavy weapons.
From the streets to the beaches, Mexican Marines, National Guard, police, all heavily armed, out in force on the sand, with some 50,000 American tourists per day set to arrive here in the coming weeks. But inside here is what the tourists don't see.
So this is kind of like the nerve center of your operations here.
The Cancun Emergency Command Center, all 3,600 plus security cameras pumping in live feeds citywide.
If I'm a tourist right now and I'm a little scared to come to Mexico after what happened this week, what would you tell me? ¿Qué me dirías?
Estamos completamente en paz.
He says everything is calm here. I guarantee that tourists can come here and enjoy their vacations in peace. Violence quickly escalating across the country earlier this week after a Mexican military operation killed one of the country's top cartel leaders. Criminal groups responding with arson and vandalism. Cars and buildings lit ablaze in city streets. American tourists forced to shelter in place. Closed airports leaving U.S. citizens stranded, unable to get out. But even as things are largely back to normal, some with upcoming trips to Mexico, like Ben Eisenhart, rethinking.
We're trying to make sound decisions for our family, for their safety, but we also, we're trying to live too.
Experts say that in light of recent events, travel to Mexico doesn't have to be out of the question, but tourists should consider multiple factors before they go.
We want you to be looking at these regions over time, figuring out what the local security trends are, and then also look at your contingency planning. Just find out what your plan is if something goes wrong.
Matt Rivers, ABC News.
A proposed data center could soon move to Spring Hill. Some neighbors say they're just now learning about it. How residents are pushing back on a zoning change that they say could transform their community ahead of a key meeting next week. Plus, K-State is having one of the toughest seasons in program history. With Coach Jerome Tang out and March Madness approaching, how the Wildcats are responding. We're keeping you safe with a recall alert on something that could be on your menu today. Walmart is recalling its Great Value brand cottage cheese in 24 states, including Kansas and Missouri, because it may not have been pasteurized properly. That can pose a health risk to people, especially those who are immunocompromised. There have been no reported illnesses so far, but the recall applies to products sold between February 17th and the 20th. If you have this cottage cheese, don't eat it. You can instead contact Walmart for a refund. It's going to be feeling like spring for the next few days, and with that comes some seasonal allergies. The Cleveland Clinic says now is the time to act. An allergist at the clinic recommends using any nasal steroid sprays before symptoms start. They also suggest keeping your window shut, changing your clothes after going outside, and showering before bed to lessen any symptoms. If that doesn't work, you might want to see a specialist.
Allergists can help identify the allergies and what's causing them to feel miserable, and we can actually create a personalized treatment for them. And if that doesn't work, we can actually start them on other therapies like allergy shots or kind of allergy tablets that will work with their immune system.
Doctors say allergy symptoms are often worse on dry, windy days when pollen levels are higher. We're getting a better look at the financial impact of sports betting in Missouri. The first month of sports wagers saw a lower than expected return. Missourians bet more than $533 million in December, but that brought in only $521,000 in tax revenue, due in large part to promotional credits or free bets, and companies get a break on those. While the state was promised big money going to education over 5 years, Missouri Gaming Commission head Jan Zimmerman says it's still early, and gaming experts say the money will fluctuate.
We're just never going to see those promo deductions again. So it fluctuates wildly by month. You're going to see you'll see a solid January because of the NFL. You'll see a solid February because of the Super Bowl. You'll see a solid March because of March Madness.
New numbers from the Missouri Gaming Commission are expected to be released on Friday. Today, you can learn more about an upcoming bridge replacement project in North Kansas City. MoDOT will be holding a public meeting on the I-29 and I-35 bridge replacement. That'll be held at the North Kansas City Parks and Recs Department off Clark Ferguson Drive from 4 to 6 tonight. If you can't make it, there will be a self-guided virtual presentation on the project's website. The online survey will close on March 12th. Farms and homes in Spring Hill could soon have a data center as a neighbor. People who live in the area are pushing back against a plan that would change up the zoning for this project. The city has been talking about this idea since October. Residents say they only learned about this plan 8 days ago. Neighbors say they bought their properties years ago and they don't want the data center nearby.
My plea to them is come stand on this land. Come see what it's surrounded by. Listen, think before you make this massive decision that will change our community forever.
We've reached out to the city of Spring Hill for comment. Leaders encouraged everyone to come to a planning commission meeting that'll be happening a week from today. Missouri lawmakers have introduced a couple of bills involving AI data centers, mainly addressing the utilities and water that these centers use. Both bills have been read twice in the House, but a hearing has not been set for either plan. K-State fans are wondering if the men's team is starting a new chapter with the firing of Jerome Tang. Survey says not likely. Give credit, though, where credit is due. K-State did manage to close a scoring gap against Colorado as wide as 22 points in the second half to just 9 points. PJ Haggerty had a good night with 25 points and 10 rebounds, the fifth double-double of his career. Haggerty has led the team in scoring in 17 straight games. But it's not going to be enough because K-State loses this one 79-70. And keep in mind, the Wildcats have just 2 conference wins and 3 games left to try and tie their worst record ever. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Here's a breakdown of the next round of men's college basketball games. Everyone is playing on Saturday. The Missouri Tigers start the day out at Mississippi State. That'll be at noon. The Kansas Jayhawks go to Arizona for a rematch with the now second-ranked Wildcats. Arizona wants revenge. That game is at 3. Finally, the K-State Wildcats got an evening game hosting the TCU Horned Frogs at 5:30 Saturday night. And Nick, for folks who are looking for weekend plans, what better way than to stay inside and watch some basketball?
Yeah, you're going to feel this colder changes by Saturday night. That colder air will sweep in on Saturday, set the stage for our Impact Day on Sunday with a variety of precipitation types, rain and wintry precipitation. Today, tomorrow, warm, dry. Tomorrow will be windy and much warmer than today. Temperatures reaching into the 70s, challenging daily record highs Friday afternoon. Gusts up to 30 miles per hour will elevate the fire dangers and recommend no burning tomorrow, even if your county or your community is not under a burn ban. And that colder air is in place on Sunday, and the temperatures are crucial with this one. 1 to 3 degrees, a little warmer, a little colder than forecast, is going to greatly change the precipitation type and the amounts. This is not going to be an all rain event, and I don't think this is going to be an all snow event. I think there's going to be a mix in there with ice, freezing rain, and sleet. Sunday morning through Sunday night, but I'm leaning more towards early Sunday afternoon through Sunday evening for the beginning of rain and what will eventually be a wintry mix of precipitation Sunday evening and Sunday night. So I don't want to give the all clear yet for early church services or breakfast plans on Sunday. I'm just starting to lean a little bit more towards late morning, early Sunday afternoon for the beginning of precipitation. And then depending on the temperatures, it might begin as rain or it might begin as a wintry mix. 12-hour forecast for the rest of your day. It's going to warm into the 60s, a little wind, lots of sun. And then lots of sun, lots of wind on Friday, 73 degrees. Colder changes on Saturday. To say the highs on Saturday will be in the 40s, 50s, 60s to near 70 would be accurate from north to south across Kansas and Missouri. So that cold air is going to ooze in during the day and then sweep well south of Kansas City for Sunday. So real cold on Sunday. Temperatures close to freezing throughout the entire day, below freezing in the morning. So my hope is that the precipitation starts well after Sunday morning when the temps are a little bit above freezing. So maybe that would be more of a rain or even a little bit of sleet. But if it's 32 degrees, 31 degrees Sunday afternoon, I'm going to be more concerned about freezing rain. And the magic number that I have found for freezing rain to really accumulate, or we call it accrete when it's liquid and becomes ice, is about 28 to 29 degrees. It's a possibility. It's not a likelihood. So there's a lot of moving parts to Sunday's impacts. The wintry weather would more than likely be late Sunday into Sunday night, and that does include some snow. Next week, it remains rainy and stormy. That possibility picking up Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week, but no wintry weather. The chance of a glaze of ice, about a 30 to 40% chance here across Kansas City. Again, this would mostly be for Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. The highest probability of at least an inch of snow continues to remain northeast of Kansas City across our northern and northeastern Missouri, where the colder air is going to be deeper. There is the possibility of more than just an inch. It could be 2 to 3 inches. And then the farther south you go, that's when the temperature profile becomes crucial in determining freezing rain, sleet, or snow.
A North Kansas City Schools preschooler is okay thanks to the quick actions of her teacher. That student, Eleanor, was eating lunch when she started choking on a strawberry. The North Kansas City School District shared this footage online. When it became clear what was happening, teacher Kathy Campbell started the Heimlich maneuver and someone got the school nurse. Thankfully, Eleanor coughed up the strawberry before things could get worse.
The color had come back. That last time she had turned purple. So you saw the strawberry, you saw the color come back. I knew she was breathing. I scooped and ran. And I still look back on that moment and it's like, did I actually do it?
Ms. Campbell took Eleanor to the school nurse for a checkup, and Eleanor's mom drove over to the early education center to make sure she was okay. If you would like to learn how to perform the Heimlich for emergency situations like this, websites like theclevelandclinic.org can teach you.
Next couple of days are going to be your outside days. 60s today, 70s on Friday. The colder air arrives on Saturday, and Sunday is our impact day. And there's a lot going on Sunday. The one thing we can say with confidence, this is not going to be an all rain event, and it's not going to be an all snow event. There's going to be some transition zones in there, or freezing rain and sleet. And that's the part of the forecast we're most concerned about. Not because at this time we think there's going to be a significant amount, but it only takes a little bit of ice at the wrong time of the day for big impacts, and it's going to drop below freezing for Monday morning, so there could be some leftover slick stuff for Monday morning.
And if it's raining, we might not get some pre-treatment, so
that is true.
We'll see what happens. We'll see you at 4. Have a good one.